Good evening everyone and welcome to TTL F1. This is League 2 action from the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, the Belgian Grand Prix of course, for round 6 of the championship. And what a night we have in prospect for you. Good evening everyone, of course I'm James Hay, going to be taking you through the stream as always. I am delighted to say Paco Suarez is alongside me for tonight. And Paco, where were you last week?
Let's say that the internet didn't want me here, despite I was really excited to actually be there, but fortunately, I'm here tonight, and let's hope we can see a really good race.
We can see, I hope we can see a very good race as well. Belgium has those ingredients for a great race, and I think we should see that tonight. Reviewing then what happened last week in Hungary, it was a McLaren 1-2, and I'm delighted to say we've got a tie for the lead in the standings as well, which I'll get onto in just a second. Mashiro taking the win last time out in Hungary, 2 wins in a row for the Japanese man, with his teammate Key in second and Hades in third, and that really developed up to be the story of the race. Mashiro really took above on the scruff of the neck. Key was second, Hades finishing in third position, and honestly, with Mashiro winning last week, surely his confidence now is for him to take that title defence towards Belgium.
I mean, when you win, your morale always goes up, and it's always a push, and that will give Mashiro more confident, you know, today. So probably we'll see a better Mashiro, probably risking a little bit more, you know, being more confident on the corners. But we cannot forget about Kiki. I mean, he has been doing a really good season. I have to say, he has surprised me quite a lot. And when his teammate is not there, he always shows up and take the points that his teammate doesn't. So we will have to watch out.
We will have to watch out. Of course, mentioning about Key, he's only won 1 race this season. That was in the first round in Bahrain. He's been so consistent throughout the season as well. And well, let's have a look at the championship standings to really see how close this championship actually is. Mashiro and Key tied for the lead on 87 points. If he wants an overall leader, it will be Mashiro because he's taken more wins than Key at this stage. Storm in third on 59 points. Has been a little unlucky, I've got to say, within the last couple of weeks. 59 points for him. Hades is in fourth on 51 points, with Daniil in fifth on 46. Axnes in 6th on 44, with Pariah in 7th on 30, Maximus is in 8th on 25, Atlas Copo in 9th on 19, and Jeffrey in 10th on 13. I don't think I've seen, halfway through the season, pretty much halfway through the season, a tie for the lead in any championship. They're so consistent to each other.
I have to say, but I have to agree with you that it's pretty tight. The fight is pretty tight, and I think no one, at least myself, I didn't expect Key to be up there with Mashiro. I only expected Storm, but Storm, I think he hasn't had the luck to actually try and fight Mashiro. But I think that if in any of these races, any of the McLaren fail, for sure the drivers behind, probably until Agnes, they will probably try and pick up important points that will actually allow them to catch the leaders.
Well, will tonight be the night for Storm? Well, you just have to tune in and find out. Let's have a run through the rest of the standings then. Mays in 11th on 11 points, Charlie in 12th on 8, Passel's in 13th on 7, Vax Viking in 14th on 6, Whitewell Billy in 15th on 4, King Koza in 16th on 2, and OWR Shumi in 17th on 1 point. Tom Conti in the YWR Storm yet to score points. I realise the time. I'm going to rush through onto the constructors' standings. McLaren effortlessly out in front. Too dominant, I think, to be caught at this early stage in the season. 174 points for McLaren out on track. From Toro Rosso in second on 81 points. Racing Point in third on 67 points. Alfa Romeo in fourth on 63. I think somebody has just left the session, by the way, just to clarify on that. Ferrari in fifth on 47 points. Mercedes in sixth on 25. Renault in seventh on 18. Williams in eighth on 16. Red Bull Racing in ninth on 13, and Haas in 10th on 4 points. And who was it who left? Was it YWR Storm that left?
Yeah, it was.
It was. So good to see him back, and 18 drivers away, and we're already getting into the action. Let's take a look then at this track in question. Belgium, 22 laps, 19 turns, the longest circuit on the F1 calendar. This is going to be a real test here tonight.
Yeah, definitely it's gonna be, and we'll have to watch out for Rouge because or the Radion, you know, because drivers, like the first lap is gonna be chaotic. I think there's gonna be some crashes in the first lap because you have cold tires, and they're gonna be really, they'll have to be really careful when going through a rouge. And I think it's a pretty beautiful circuit. I mean, beautiful corners, you know, easy to make. I mean, it's a wide circuit, so you can do overtakes. So I think we're gonna see a pretty good race today.
We should see a pretty good race, and the fact that it is dry in qualifying will really help the guys out on track. It was a wet qualifying last night if you tuned in to TTL F1 League 1. Really interesting going on a set of mediums. We've got the first cars coming out on track. 7 kilometres length distance for a lap around here, 4.3 miles in our terms. Race distance 154 kilometres or 95.7 miles. And honestly, it doesn't really bear to mind that this is probably one of the hardest tracks that the guys will see all season out on track. Now, I have been told to go on board with a couple of people in particular, Mashiro and I do believe it was Conti, the other driver. So we're just waiting for those guys to get out on track and we can show you some very nice graphics. As that is Conti now coming out of the pit lane. So we'll go on board with him when we get the chance to come on board with him. The two also just sticking out in front. I think Mashiro is yet to come out the pit just yet, but Conti currently now out on the track, and he's on a set of medium compound of tyres. He hasn't scored a point this season so far. How will this bear in mind coming into tonight? Is this a track you can really see him excelling at?
I mean, in Belgium many things can happen. I mean, let's be honest, we saw Giovinazzi, you know, in real life crashing in the last lap. So it's a circuit that you cannot relax till the race is over. And probably I think he will have many chances to score today. I think he's a pretty consistent driver. He's shown that in other tiers, you know, for example in F2. And I think that probably today can be the day, to be honest.
Yeah, today could be the day for Conti indeed. He's on a set of medium compound of tyres, as I say. We'll cut to Mashiro in due course, but I want to ride on board with the first man out on track. We're already up towards the bus stop chicane with him. Key is coming towards bus stop. He's on a set of hard compound of tyres. Now, interesting to see that these guys are going for a set of hard compound of tyres. Is there a chance of rain maybe in the race, or will these guys just want to get a lap in early?
Oof. That's actually a pretty good question. I think that if people like Key or like Storm have gone out in a set of hards, I think there's not going to be rain on the race.
Ooh. Key, goodness me. Sorry to cut in there, but nearly had a moment coming through a Rouge and Radio. Now down the Camel Straight, Dutch corner there on the left-hand side, now running down towards the Com, and it's a 30 flat through the first sector. He's on a set of hard, so don't expect a blistering time here from Key, the current, or joint current championship leader coming into tonight. He'll be right on board, running down towards X corner, and then through Brussels, and then down towards Pouhon, out on track. And to this point, we're about nearly halfway through the lap, and coming down towards Pouhon especially, getting very tight to the wall there on the right-hand side. Now coming down towards the fearsome Pouhon. If you get caught on the curve on the inside, you're going to end up spinning the car for sure. Key now halfway through the lap, and he comes through Pouhon safely. Now down to the section which I can't name because I can't pronounce it at all. Key now coming through turns, I think this is 13 and 14 out on track if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, coming up towards 10-14 now, and then through 15. Here is Stavolo, a very tricky corner out on track. Take a flat out and take a wide out line. He could end up in that wall. Dil Warren ended up in that wall in the race last night. Key on a lap, coming through Blanchimont and now through towards turn 17, which is Blanchimont of course, and he now comes down towards the bus stop chicane and he's lost it. He's caught the inside curve of Blanchimont. Luckily, he looks like he's just about came away unscathed. He's got left side end plate damage. Jeffrey is out of the session as well, and he's retired that in the pit lane, so it didn't come out on track. Key though out of the session really, and Pariah comes across the line to set the quickest lap so far.
Yeah, now Axnes is gonna finish also his lap. What time is he gonna set? At 1:44.2. And I have to say that the McLaren Key was pretty lucky that didn't end worse than it could have been. You know, he could have retired and he didn't. So he could consider himself a lucky driver today.
Very lucky driver indeed, I think, and Key's still within the session. I think he'll stop on straight onto a set of medium compound of tyres. We're going to go on board with the other man in question in that championship fight, Mashiro, who is halfway through the lap now, and we come on board with him. He has he's won 2 races so far this season. The Japanese man now coming through Stavolo. It's a 16.7, fastest of anyone so far. He's on a set of medium compound of tyres. Should go possibly quicker than Daniil, but it will be hard to bear in mind, of course, that he's on a set of medium, so could go behind some of these guys. And looking at it, from that Rolex sign that he's just approaching now, it's about 10 seconds from there to the line, so Mashiro now has to really put the hammer down. Coming through the bus stop chicane and looking very good indeed through there. It's not going to be a blistering time. He's going to slot in him just ahead of Atlas Copper. He doesn't, and he's just behind Conti on a set of mediums, so just in behind, second fastest of the medium runners in 8th position there for Mashiro. Not a bad lap there.
Not a bad lap, but he's behind Conti, and honestly I don't know if that's bad or good. I mean, Conti maybe today he's faster than any other day, but he's generally behind, and Mashiro having the same time set as Conti, I don't know if he should start worrying about it.
Yeah, Mashiro I don't think should worry about that at all. I mean, we've still got just under 12 minutes left of this session. Daniil out on top, Pariah second, Axnes in third. It's a real mix currently of some of the guys out on track. Just going to go on board with OWR Shimi. He's now around the final corner and hoping to set a good lap here. Not going to be as quick as Daniil, of course, and he's not going to be as quick. He's probably going to jump just in behind Mashiro. Yeah, just in behind him indeed. 500ths of a second, in fact, behind him on a set of soft compound of tyres through 9th position. He just comes through La Source there down towards the Rouge and Radion. Key is back out on track. I think that was a set of hards I saw out on him. No, it's a set of mediums. That's just my eyes going once again. I need to get them tested, of course. So Key now back out on a lap. But the early stages of this qualifying session suggest that Daniil is out on top, Pariah second, and Axnes in third. And I wouldn't honestly have expected Mays to be up there in fourth. He put in a very good lap.
Well, I mean, 1:44.6 is a decent lap, but let's see that I think today we should see at least low 43s. I think it's what we should expect, or at least I think 43.5 at least we should see today, but still it's not a bad lap from Maith.
Yeah, 43.5, possibly on prediction. I think I would go a little bit quicker than that, to be honest. I'm going to predict like a 43.2, 43.1. I think, I'm sure Mashiro might have it in him. Just catching on board with Billy, by the way. He ran out wide, I think, through Pouon and spun the car. So Billy had a moment through Pouon and spun the car, and he's on a set of mediums. He's still on a valid lap. Whether he chooses to come back into the pits or not is a different thing. But just be aware, drivers, if you are around Billy out on track, he is lacking quite a bit, and he's already disconnected from the session once, so just be aware of that coming into this session tonight. Charlie coming through Pouon, and Storm coming through Stavolo as well. Take your pick. Storm is down on his time, as is Charlie, so both of them not going to be coming in for a lap. Who is just starting on the lap? Well, running both OWR Hades. He's on a set of soft compound of tyres. Interestingly, going to go along with Pariah's sort of pace. 44 flat for Pariah, of course, his teammate, as we approach the halfway stage here in qualifying so far. Now we ride on board with Hades. Currently, of course, coming into tonight, one of the top runners in the standings. It's a 30 flat through the first couple of corners there. 30 flat through the first sector, I should say. Out on track, and Hades coming into tonight fourth, 51 points. 5 points behind Storm. Looking good currently on this lap, but I'm just going to fear that his teammate is ahead of him. This is going to help him quite a lot on this lap, I think.
Probably he will. I mean, we've seen the Toro Rosso drivers doing teamwork during the whole season, so I don't expect less from them in today's qualifying.
Gotta say, to be honest, it's the worst possible part on the track he could get, tow. This is down towards Stavolo, and getting tow through Stavolo. Daniil just getting out of the way there, Pariah running wide. 15-4 through the middle sector from Hades, and now Pariah. Well, that wasn't really much of a tow, if I've got to be honest. That was more of a mistake from Pariah. Hades now coming up towards Blanchimont, and looking good, I've got to say, out on track. And Pariah, of course, made that mistake just ahead of him. And I think, honestly, this could be one of our first 43s of the night. Of course, Daniil with a 43.8. I'm going to go quicker than that. I think he's going to beat Daniil across the line here. Hades coming towards the line, goes quickest with just under 700th of a second.
Yeah. And Basil sets 1:45.6, and I think there was another car crossing the line, but I didn't see who was. And I have to say that the idea from the Toro Rosso drivers, like always, was 10 out of 10. The execution, let's say, not that much. You know, it was a bit poor. They could have done much better.
Yeah. Definitely, I think they could have done a lot better. I think Key is just off on a lap. Yeah, he's just about to start one. He's just invalidated that previous one. Mashiwa just ahead of him out on track. Just to pick up on the car, by the way, that you said, it was Billy who came across the line, went 7th with a 44.7. So the Hassman goes 7th. Fastest of the mediums, actually, by a good 0.5 of a second. He should be quite happy with that, I think.
Yeah, probably if he went on the softest tire, he could probably try and challenge the leaders and try to go for pole, but I'm not sure if that is a strategy he wants. As we are watching almost everyone going on the softer tire, so I don't know if everyone is gonna go soft in the end.
We'll have to wait and see. Axnes is about 10th down through the middle sector, just through Stavilo, now toward the bus stop chicane, and now through that, and Axnes comes across the line, improves in the final sector, goes 4th, improves his time, doesn't go quicker, however, than Pariah, and it's 0.05 of a second, separating 3rd and 4th out on track.
And Conti going through the bus stop, and he's now on the last corner, and I think he's going pretty fast. Yeah, let's see what time he says. On 1:44 flat, and that's actually a pretty decent time from Conti, as Pariah improved just marginally his time.
43.9 there for Pariah, as you rightfully say. He improved on that by nearly a 10th, well, just over a 10th of a second. Daniil, in fact, goes quicker. So already my prediction of a 43.3 is completely blown yours out of proportion, I've got to say. 43.3 from Daniil. My God, that's a quick lap.
Yeah, definitely it was, and I have to say, I was watching some drivers that generally do a pretty decent time. And,
Mashiwa goes third, sorry to cut in. Mashiwa went third there, 43.8. Go on.
Yes, I was saying, I was seeing drivers' times, and I was a bit surprised because I was comparing with my times, and I knew some guys here could actually do faster than that, and I was risking it by saying 1:43.5, and finally Daniel came with a 1:43.3. That it's actually a pretty decent time. Let's see if maybe we can see a 1:42.9. I think we could actually see that today.
We could see a 1:42, quickly escaping from his earlier prediction, I think there Paco is. Storm on a lap, TTG Storm this is, and he's on the run down towards Pouon, just through Brussels corner. That was Daniil just letting him through, and Schumi now comes through Pouon very nicely. He's on a set of medium Storm I should say, on a set of medium compounder tyres, getting myself mixed up with the S's there. Storm now through the middle sector, looking good on this lap so far, 45.6. Is a banker time, don't reflect that off his pace, and there was a spinner through X corner, I think that was. There was a Mercedes spinning around, and Storm fastest of any, or personal best in the middle sector, 9/10 up. What did you see there, Paco?
Maximus was coming pretty fast, and he invalidated his lap, so he had to pit, unfortunately.
Gotta say, Storm is looking quite good on this lap. He could go second with this, you know. Oh, and he's into the pits. Typical. What is it with drivers? Oh, dearie me. Storm into the pits then. He was 9/10 up. He didn't want to show his true colours there with his pace. Might be just feeling that on a set of medium compounder tyres, that might be the tyres for him to go on for another stint in qualifying.
And Kiki spins. He was going into the pits, and I don't know how going so slow he lost
hit the wall. Yeah, YWR Storm just ahead, by the way. Right side end plate damage coming into the pits. And he got caught on the inside curb, or the inside wall, I think, coming into the pits. Everyone pretty much into the pit. We've got Charlie on a lap. He's on a set of soft compound of tyres. Could go well up there. He's been unlucky so far this season. And just to reflect on Charlie's performances, I mean, 12th on 8 points. And he comes into the pits as well.
Another one that baits us. I mean, I know that feeling because, of course, I'm a commentator, and that hurts, you know, when you're about to commentate the end of a lap and suddenly you see that he is going into the entry of the pits, and it's just, pretty disappointing.
I've got to be honest though, I'm not really surprised that drivers have came in. I mean, there's only 3 minutes left to go, just over within the session. Billy, the only one out on track alongside Pariah. We've got a Mercedes and a Renault, I think, coming out of the pit lane as well. So Billy,
actually, Billy is quite ahead. I mean, he's about to start.
He's about to start that, yeah. Let's have a ride on board then with your comments as well, while we run on board with Billy's lap. See how you guys are doing, of course, on this fine lockdown Friday night, as we have to always call now a lockdown day. Pretty much every day of the week now is a lockdown day. TTTV, of course, we are tuning in. Good evening to everyone. 00 comes in and says, nice stream, thank you very much. The Norwegians are showing good pace in this track, says Tar Abu. And Storm saying, you just know it's going to be wet. Oh, Billy, goodness me, oh my god! How on earth has he not picked up damage from that? What a recovery!
Yeah, I mean, I was seeing him crashing into the wall, and suddenly I saw how he was like millimeters away from crashing. Pretty good save, I have to say, from the Haas driver. Will he have time for another lap? And I feel
he will.
For another lap.
Yeah, he will. He's got cars around him. But as long as he stays in with the connection, definitely, I think Billy will definitely get another lap in. I mean, it's a 43 lap time around here. And he's got, what, 2 minutes? And he's already down towards P1. Yeah, he's going to get possibly, 1 lap in. He's on the back of an Alfa Romeo, however, though, in the meantime, which is a bit concerning. Oh, and he goes for a spin, in fact, through P1 and loses left side end plate. So I think I might have just commentators cursed him there, I think.
Like always, I mean, it's
like
not
always.
Surprising. And Pariah starts his lap now, so he's going to be the first driver on his last attempt.
Let's ride on board with him then. Pariah currently in 4th. The Toro Rosso man out on track. 43.9. Has got a long way to give, though, if he wants to try and beat Daniil with that lap time. Could be the one to beat Daniil, 43.3. Pariah, though, takes it very smooth up at Rouge and Radion, and now opens up the DRS. Down the Kemmel straight, Dutch corner on the left-hand side. Pariah wouldn't care about them Dutch fans, I can guarantee you that. And it's a 29.8 through the first sector. Thought we were going to get an outlap glitch there, to be honest, but Pariah, 29.8 through the first sector. He's only 500ths up on his time in retrospect to that 43.9 that he set. So currently, he will not be theoretical best, and if he doesn't improve in the final 2 sectors, he will not be improving on his best time to get 3rd ahead of Mashiro. Billy retires out of the session within the pit lane. Pariah now through Puon. Just taking a bit of a wide out exit. Misses the apex there on the inside. But rightfully catches the apex on the inside there, coming through the rest of Puon. And now through the right-hander and the left-hander. I've got to be honest, Pariah is looking pretty smooth on this lap. Let's see what it's like, though, through the middle sector as Passelt has retired out on track. Think he might have picked up an invalidation. He's 4 tenths up, you know, Pariah. He could be the Pied Pariah out on track. That's why I use every single week now, I think, for Pariah. 43.9 though is his current theoretical best. Now through Blanchimont. Now really attacking that beautiful smoothness through there. He's going to be very close to Daniil, I think. This could be a 42.9, you know. We reach the end of qualifying and Pariah is going to be the first one across the line. He's now coming up towards the final corner through there and now to the line. Is he going to improve? He's just 2 tenths short of Daniil, but improves by 3.5 tenths.
And just right after is Maximum, who's gonna cross the finish line, and he goes
7th.
He improved 4 tenths, so that's actually quite an improvement. And behind, I think it's a Renault, but I don't know if it's and then it's Toro Rosso, I think, and it's his teammate Harris.
Harris, 300s down through the middle sector. Let's catch him on the end of this lap. We'll try and get through everyone. Guarantee we probably won't, but Hades there through the final corner. Looks like he's improving through this final sector, actually. Nearly finds a little bit of time. 1500ths off his personal best is 3rd. Mashiro's out of the race, out of the session through P1.
And Axnes goes fastest. Yeah, we have many cars crossing the line now. Another Alfa Romeo, Atlas going 9. Wow, what a chaos. Many drivers right now.
I think Key's just come across the line. Yeah, 3rd. Key 43.5. Next up is Conti. Then it's YWR Storm, who I think has invalidated on his lap or might have had a spin around Stavolo. So Conti now coming through the final corner. Looks like he might be improving on this. And Conti probably on for his best qualifying position so far.
Yes.
Crossed the line, 400th improvement, and didn't improve his position overall. Daniil, though, is the main one we should focus on. Oh, he's 1.9. Yeah, Daniil is down on his time. It's Axnes' pole. Unless Charlie can put in a flyer of a final sector. He needs 2 seconds out of this. Charlie, around the final corner, not going to be going quicker than Axnes. Charlie across the line goes 10th, sneaks into the top 10 by 200th of a second. So, on reflection in that qualifying session, it was Axnes, he's just been punted actually by his teammate, his AI. Axnes taking the pole position out on track by 500ths of a second, just under.
Yeah, and I have to say it was surprising qualifying, because I think for the first time we didn't have much hero in the first spot, you know. So I think we're gonna have an interesting race. I hope that it doesn't happen like what race was it before the last one I was in? Seriously, my memory is horrible. There was a race in which we had a similar situation. Germany, exactly, where actually Mashiro and Storm and these guys had to make a comeback, and we had an interesting first 3. But after lap 2, I think most of them were in the pits and they just crashed out. So it was a bit of a disaster. Let's hope that today doesn't happen exactly the same.
Axnes, Daniil, Key, Pariah, Hades, Mashiro, Conti, Maximus, Maze, Charlie, Atlas Copel, Billy, Vax Viking, Shumi, Passel, Storm, and Jeffrey. Top 18 done within 10 seconds. There you go.
Nice. You actually reminded me to the thing of the WTF1, you know, when they do the race the race rundown, you know, when they go through the whole field trying to say everything really fast.
Oh, King Koza joins just that little bit late, so the Belgian not going to be participating in his home race. Sorry to cut in about that, Paco. What were you trying to say there?
Just saying that you remind me to WTF1 when they have to speed everything really fast. I was actually giving you a challenge, you know, that's why I was trying to push everything till the end, so you had to say everything really quickly.
I'll try from 5 seconds next week. There you go. Challenge on.
Yeah, you know, so we could have a challenge and some laughs during the stream. Yeah, exactly. Good idea.
Exactly. We all need a bit of enlightenment, especially in these times that we are all facing. But in short, coming out on track, we'll focus on 2 particular drivers as we did in qualifying. It was, of course, Mashiro and Conti. We've got some new graphics that we want to show you, of course. And with Belgium, it's going to be a fantastic track. But just waiting for Shumi to ready up. I think there might be a bit of a connection issue for Shumi here.
Yeah, and probably it's a glitch. I don't know if they do restarts here, but if
might
he doesn't...
have to. Oh, yeah. there is a car going off the line.
It's Shumi. Yeah, that's what happens when he doesn't ready up. There is a glitch that I don't know why everyone is waiting up, but it's like if Shumi was actually in the race. It's pretty weird, unfortunately. We'll have to see if he lags out or...
Yeah, Shumi will have to leave the session, I think, for this race to get underway. It is a horrible thing to say, but that is the truth of the matter, I think. The Ferrari is going straight down. His Ferrari, in fact, is going straight down towards Turn 1. You'll probably see it go through Turn 1 any second now in the back of shot. Just keep watching if you are focusing like I am. But I think he might have gone straight into the wall, possibly. So, yeah. It's a bit strange. Hopefully we do not delay this start at all. But in the meantime, while we're getting this back up and running, hopefully, let's focus on the track. Belgium, 22 laps, 19 turns, 7 kilometres length in distance, race distance of 154 kilometres as well. And as we alluded to in qualifying, this is going to be a real test for the drivers out on track. How do you see this race going?
At the moment, I don't really see it. I mean... No, but I think that it's gonna be quite interesting because Sector 1 and Sector 3 probably are the best sectors to actually make an overtake. And then you have sector 2, in which to actually overtake you have to pull out in an incredible move. And we can see Daniel lagging out from the session, so probably we'll see some drivers going out now. But yeah, talking about the race, I think it's gonna be pretty interesting, and actually the fact that we have Mashiro outside the top 5, it's gonna make it, yeah, and Maximus has lagged out, so probably there's gonna be a new lobby. But I think there's gonna be an interesting race, because we have some top drivers outside the top 5, like Mashiro, Storm, so I think we're gonna see a really good race today.
Yeah, so just to confirm, just seeing it within Discord that we are going to be restarting the race. There will be an official restart to the race, which means we've got a little bit of time to fill until then. And obviously you are seeing a lot of guys getting disqualified from the session. Don't worry, don't be afraid, because there is nothing. Everyone will be out on track at some point. There's Shumi's car, by the way, coming around the final corner. It's just about to rejoin. Now out on track. I don't get it.
The chosen one.
Very strange. Shumi is the chosen one. Anyways, I'm just trying to see. I think we should set up the... To be honest, I think we should set up the grid. The lights are about to go out. Oh, the formation lap has started, which is strange. But yeah, there you go. There's a bit of action going on. Everything is glitched. Don't focus on the action that's happening out on track. I'm going to hopefully get a bit of instruction from Honey Badger about what is happening.
I mean, they've put the cover thing, the thumbnail, so now we can talk, you know, crack some jokes. And yeah, I think this is a perfect time, actually.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute my mic for a minute. I'm gonna screenshot what there was from qualifying, the results from qualifying, send it to Maze, and we'll get that new lobby restarted. So I'll be back in a minute.
All right. Then I'll guess now I'm the host. Hello everyone in the stream. I'm gonna read some comments if they allow me to. So I'm gonna read you guys. If you want to put, no one has put anything new. So, well, if any of you want to write something, I can read it. And let's see. Honestly, I think that today we're gonna have a really good race. Like, probably I say this every week, and I don't change my speech. But it's actually true. Yeah, definitely. Oh, we have some comments. Yeah, glitch lobby. Storm saying, yeah, it's no. I mean, not that long, Charlie. I mean, not 154,000 kilometers. Did he say 100? I would actually ask him. But if he said that, no, Charlie, you know it's not that. And yeah, Apple, we're doing a new lobby, and we have Luke Osborne supporting Charlie, saying "Go Charlie." So let's hope Charlie can have actually a good race. I mean, he hasn't had the best start. Well, I'm talking about the best start, but we are already halfway through the season. And we have made totally disappointed. I don't know if you're disappointed by my amazing skills of commentator, or you're disappointed by the lobby glitch. Yeah, and he's saying no joining in quali. I mean, from my honest opinion, I think that wasn't what caused the glitch. It was Shumi. There's always a guy that actually glitches the lobby. It doesn't mean he has bad internet, but definitely it's a factor to watch. But yeah, now we are invited, and now we are back in the lobby. And
I am back as well. Yeah, I am back as well. So just to confirm what is going to be happening, we are going to be resetting the race up as it was from grid orders. So how you qualified is the position you will be starting in. Everyone in the top 10 must start on their same compound tyre. Everyone in the top 10 on a set of softs. Anyone 11th down to 18th, if you qualified in those positions, then just remain as you were, whatever compounded tyres that you were going to go on. If anybody goes on a set of goes on a set of mediums within the top 10, then I think it is fair to say you will get a slapped wrist.
I think that we should have actually caught the drivers by surprise, you know, and have actually do reverse grid, you know, crazy things, heavy rain, you know, editing everything, just to see chaos, you know, that's what we want. Nah, not really. We want good racing, that's what we want.
We want clean, fair and phenomenal racing, I think, here in Belgium. We have just changed it to custom grid, as you can see on the bottom there within the lobby screen. Of course, I don't think you guys will be able to see it at home viewing us here on the stream, but trust me, we're going to get back underway. And I've got to be honest, it's the first time I have seen a glitch in TTL probably in a few seasons.
I remember from my experience in TTFL, and that was quite some time ago, that we rarely had glitches. Actually, I cannot remember any glitch, so I have to say this is one of the first ones I've ever seen in, at least in this series, you know, in the Fridays series.
Yeah, and I think honestly, in the Friday series, and I know we haven't had any glitches, I think the last time we've probably had a glitch within TTL was TTL F1 Belgium last season, where it was the safety car glitch, where Mashiro forced the safety car to, well, half the field got disqualified. Long story short, half the field got disqualified in that race, and we had to redo it the week after. So, we're not going to be getting onto those levels tonight, but because we're on a little bit of a delay, what we can do, I think, hopefully with the power of Honey Badger behind the scenes, is rerun the driver's standings. And coming into tonight, Mashiro on 87 points, currently leading the way with Key, both tied on 87 points. Storm in third on 59 points. Hades in fourth on 51 points, with Daniil in fifth on 46 points. Axnes in sixth on 44, Pariah in seventh on 30, Maximus in eighth on 25, Atlas Copo in ninth on 19, and Jeffrey in 10th on 13 points. And just looking at that top 10, Mashiro and Key, obviously 87 points each. Looking at their qualifying, Key third, Mashiro sixth. Is the first team role essentially going to be for Key tonight, or is Mashiro going to come through, fight through the field, and then get towards the top half of the standings, or into the top 5 at least, within the first lap?
I think right now McLaren will go under, let's say, an exam. This is where the real relationship between teammates is going to be tested. And probably I think that today there will be no respect for driver 1 or driver 2. They will just go for the win, and I don't think there's gonna be such a respect that they generally have. I think there's gonna be more tension between them two.
And I think as well, with there being more tension, there will always be that sense of added pressure as well, especially because both of them are tied for the lead in the standings. The pressure that these two must be under coming into tonight is something that has probably not been felt within TTL F1 League 2 for a long, long time.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say that by reading on the comments section, I have to answer to Christine. We are not showing because there's nothing to show. I mean, we are about to start the race, and we'll go back to the main screen. And then let's see. Luke Osborne is supporting Charlie like every week, and TTG Strom says, "Really hope my plan works or I screw it." So. I don't know what his plan was, but at the moment it doesn't seem like it's working, but let's hope that for the race he can actually... I mean, he always delivers. He always make a good comeback, so let's hope that today is one of those days.
Does he want to share, I wonder, his plan to the 13 viewers that are tuning in to tonight's stream, the one viewer that is viewing on my channel as well? Thank you to whoever that is. I might imagine who I know who that might be, but you never know. You never know. 20 seconds to go then until the session starts, and we are getting back underway. It's going to be formation lap, and then we're going to be straight into the race. So no hanging about here at all. And we'll really test the drivers. And looking at the drivers drivers' standings. The qualifying coming into tonight. Axnes on top by 400ths of a second from Daniil. Key in third, Pariah fourth, Hades in fifth. There is going to be such a good battle, I think, in the early stages of this race between the McLarens and between the Toro Rossos out on track as well. Are we going to see... Actually, I think we've had a... I think Pariah has left this... Pariah's at the back.
Yeah, because I think he screwed up and he just chose, like, he went to spectator and he just did weird things, unfortunately. Probably there won't be a restart for that.
Yeah,
but
there won't be.
He messed up.
So I'm not sure if Pariah was around to select his car or not, but if he was, then there's a little bit of common sense there, don't you think? It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, definitely, but doesn't matter if you choose your car or not. I mean, your position is assigned for the driver, not for the car. So he should have gotten the position, and the only way that was erased was probably he went into spectator mode, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the driver's mistake. And probably you're seeing this from Malc's back, like always. I mean, I'm way too predictable. But I want to know your prediction for the podium today.
I was going to put Pariah in my top three, now knowing that he's at the back of the field. Just to clarify as well, he's on a set of soft compound of tyre. That is important, because if he was on a set of medium compound of tyres, then he'd be getting a slapped wrist, because obviously he qualified within the top 10. He's showing down there in 18th position in a different car, but we'll use the power of imagination that he's in a Toro Rosso and not a Haas. So Billy has got an extra teammate for this race and this race only. My prediction, by the way, I think it is going to be a real twist and tailing sort of race. It's going to be quite interesting to see how the likes of Key, Hades and Mashiro, I'm especially looking at getting on. In terms of my top three, I'm going to go Daniil for the win. I think he might have good pace early on. I think the Ferrari man might have good pace early on. Jump Axnes off the start. He gets that good start and carries it through the first half of the race. Then he could be in a good position to take it, as he will go on to a set of medium compound of tyres. I think Daniil for the win, Mashiro for second, and for third I'm going to go for Key, but do not rule out Pariah from the back of the field.
Alright, I'll have to do mine quickly, so there won't be some logic in it. People will be confused, but don't judge me, okay? I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna put in first, actually, Daniil. I think he's gonna win. In second spot, I think it's gonna be Hades. And third, I'm gonna put Conti. Yes, you're not deaf. I've put Conti in third.
Conti in third. I mean, this is the best qualifying I think I remember from Conti within TTL F1 League 2. We are just moments away then from those pesky 5 red lights to go out here, out on track, and Axnes on pole position. The 5 red lights are to go out as we look down towards the bus stop chicane. 5 red lights about to go out, and it's lights out and away we go. Good start by Axnes off the start, really jumped in, and Daniil has already been left behind. Key is down the inside, going down towards turn 1. Looks like Billy is on the right hand side, letting everyone through around the outside. Through, I think, in the background, which is good to see. And Axnes leads on the run down towards the Rouge and Rallion for the first time. He's right on board with the camber of the corner, and Key's gone! Key is out of the race! He loses it through a Rouge and Rallion on board with him. Key is out of the race. Unfortunate for him. And Key falls by the wayside. Our main championship contender gone, but his teammate Mashiro trying to go around the outside of Hades. This is into Lecom, now on the inside line, and Hades is on the inside line coming out of Lecom and gets the move done. A little bit of a Constantino effect. Conti, I'm not sure if he picked up a right side end plate. Back, and now Conti, Maximus being forced up the curb there, trying to force that Mercedes through. There's a yellow flag in sector 1 somewhere. That was for Key's car, so don't be complacent about that. And Daniil is taking the lead of the race as well, as Axnes is under pressure, and Mashiro's down the inside into Puon, gets the move done. So I'm not sure what has happened there with Daniil and Axnes out on track, but Axnes now down to third. Billy is round through Puon, I do believe. Billy is round through Puon. Axnes down the inside of Hades, forces him through, and he's up into third. And it looks like Hades has got right side end plate damage damage potentially as well with that. Maximus a little bit squibbly out of there. Conti down the inside, but that start has got Daniil. He didn't have the initial start, but he's got away by 1.3 seconds early on from Mashivo in second, Axnes third, Hades fourth, Maximus in fifth. Conti is under pressure from Mays and Charlie, 6th, 7th and 8th. Shumi has gone through an Atlas Copo as well. He made a mistake coming out of Stavolo. We've run on board then with Mays, who is on the back of Conti, running down towards the bus stop chicane, trying to look around the outside line. Not going to be close enough. Little bit of contact there on the back end, and Hades rightfully is into the pit, and I think he did pick up that right side end plate damage as I spied coming through Stavolo. But Charlie is on the back of Mays.
And
one end of Black Wall.
Also going into the pits.
Yeah, Pariah also into the pits.
He had an incident in the first lap, and just at the start, he had an amazing start. I mean, amazing reaction. But he just, I don't know what happened. He just hit the back of Storm like some meters away from the start, and he had front wing damage, unfortunately. And he's going hard.
Look at Conti!
He's going hard.
Oh! There's been contact down the straight. Conti and Charlie lag into each other. Charlie and Mays have lagged into each other as well. Something is actually on my end, or if it's really lagging on your end. I'm not sure what's going on here, to be honest. Daniil leads by 2 seconds.
Yeah.
From Mashivo second, Axnes third, Conti fourth. Not really sure what happened there, to be honest.
I think he made contact with Maximus.
He definitely did make contact with Maximus. It looked like there was definite lag between them both. I was running ball with them at the time. So a little bit of lag beginning maybe to creep into the lobby, which is never a good sign. A lot of positive gains, by the way, out on track. It's Daniil who leads, Mashivo second, Axnes in third, OWR back to Viking, by the way, has just been overtaken by YWR Storm further down the field. He's up into 12th position, and Conti is through on Charlie as well, and he's up into 4th position, and YWR Storm is round just before Stavolo, and Charlie's on the inside line through Conti, through Stavolo, gets the move done. Charlie down on the inside line, great move on Conti. And Conti's under pressure from Mays, and Conti in fact is not going to back off that one, and Charlie and Mays side by side forced onto the grass there a little bit. Atlas Copo has gone in the background through Blanchimon, that was. So Atlas Copo has gone in the background. YWR Storm out of the race. There's a lot of unclean driving, I think, going on here out on track. DRS enabled onto lap 3. Daniil leads, Mashivo second, Axnes in third. My God, take over.
I mean, what can I say? It has been a chaotic start with many incidents, maybe some lag issues. I have to say, James, commentating, I'm hearing you with some lag, only a little bit. So I don't know if it's also your internet, but maybe not.
Viking Passel gets the move done coming through Lecom. So good move there by Shumi to get the move done. And yeah, you are right. I think there is a lot of lag on my end. Just going to move my PS4 a little bit, see if that stabilises things. Storm on the back of Passels for 7th and 8th. Can you hear me now okay?
Yeah, at the moment, yeah. I can.
Good. Good. Red bars have gone from my end, which is good to see. It's probably my parents using up the internet downstairs. Charlie on the back of Mays coming through Puon, but Daniil leading, Mashivo second, Axnes in third. And what this has really done is blown the championship picture wide open. Mashivo now going to be taking advantage on key within the standings out on track.
Yeah, definitely, and I have to say that actually I didn't put Key in the podium prediction because I had the intuition that he was going to crash, and actually I thought the same about Mashivo. So I don't want to say anything, but at the moment one of my predictions have gone right, so not saying anything with that.
One of your predictions has gone right, but on the wrong receiving end, I think. So, Key is now going to come and hunt you down, I think, after this race. Axnes on the back of Mashivo, 5/10 of a second as they come through Rouge and Marion once again. He's on the back here, and Storm's on the back of Passels as well, I do believe.
Yeah, and we have Charlie and Jeffrey pitting as they had front wing damage.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Conti or Hades are in the fight for the podium at the end of the race, because we are seeing way too many incidents at the start of the race.
Gotta say, Axnes was looking good there, up the run, down through the onto the camel straight through Lecombe, but not getting past Mashiro for now. Second place currently. Storm is on the back of Passels as well, and the Racing Point man trying to fight. I think he's got a revving out glitch. No, he hasn't. I thought that was a revving out glitch. He was just taking high revs down in through X corner, and Storm on the back of Passels for 6th and 7th. It looks like my connection has stabilised itself, which is good to see. I can see a lot better, by the way, coming out, staring right in the middle, from sitting on the edge of my bed, staring right in the middle of my TV screen. That is why I think the connection is a bit better. Storm on the back of Passels, because I normally sit next to the radiator and I'm absolutely sweating my guts out already, and it's only lap 4, so goodness me.
And I have to say, Storm making a good comeback through the field, and he's on mediums. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe at the end of the race he's fighting, I wouldn't say podium, but for a 4th spot, maybe top 4. I mean,
top
I think
4,
he can catch me.
He's on the back of Passels, coming up towards the bus stop chicane. Passels parking it perfectly down the middle of the track, I should say, within the white lines. Storm just getting caught on the curb there through the bus stop chicane. Conti, in the meantime, has gone through on Billy, who I think has disconnected. Yeah, Billy's disconnected out on track, which is a shame, which I think might be the reason why we had a little bit of lag early on, possibly, with him disconnecting. That might be something that we need to look at. Storm on the back, though, of Passels. Axnes trying to get onto the back of Mashiro, but looking at a much better run there from Storm compared to Passels, and now down the camel straight. Passels is out of DRS range on Schumi, and look at Storm. He's just going sailing past Schumi down on the inside line here. The Racing Point man is through on his home man, and Storm is through. He's up to 6th. Good move.
Yeah, definitely good move. I thought Passel was about to try and hold it round the outside, but yeah, I mean, Storm sometimes when he needs to put out the elbows, you know, he actually does it, and he gets the job done. And here it wasn't less than that. And now probably next target is Schumi.
Next target is indeed Schumi, only 6/10 up the road, out on track through Puon. Storm running very nicely out on track indeed, and he's on the back of Schumi. Let's focus on the battle for second. Axnes just beginning to keep that gap consistent to Mashiro. We're only on to the end of lap 5 here. Pariah has gone through on Billy, so his teammate out on track has been overtaken because of his AI, of course. Mashiro in second. Axnes looking quicker. I think he's swapped his setup, you know, for a straight line speed setup rather than a cornering setup. And I think through the middle sector, that's where we're seeing the time being very consistent between these two. And Axnes is just losing the time to Mashiro, and I'm not sure actually if he might have a bit of a DRS failure out on track. Maximus is round through Puon, by the way, and Storm is on the back of Schumi.
Yeah, and talking about the DRS failure problem that you were talking about, I think he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's just opened up the DRS. Goodness me. I think I was making that one up, to be honest. Making up as we go along here in commentary tonight. Storm right on the back of Schumi. Goodness me. Through a Rouge and Radion. Schumi going to have the run. He's disposed of Passels with a lot of vigour and zest, and Storm is going to do the same now to Schumi. Right around the outside down the Camel straight. He's got the move done, and Schumi's not going to put up a fight for this. So Storm through, and he's up to 5th. The leading runner now on a set of medium compound of tyres. How well is this going to suit him out on track? He's 3.8 seconds off Mays. I think that gap can come down quite consistently over the course of the next few laps.
It definitely will, and we'll have to see what's the pace compared to the leaders, because I think that if maybe in these laps he can actually pull some good laps, maybe the chances for a podium are not over.
0.3 of a second gain just through the middle sector alone so far for Storm. Mays looking a little bit under pressure. I wonder if those tyres are beginning to blister. It's now 0.5 of a second Storm has caught on Mays. Medium's beginning to come into the delta time, I think, out on track. And Mays currently looking, I know it's 3.4 seconds, and I'm not going to really beat around the bush with all of this, but I think Mays is under pressure from Storm, and in 3 laps time, if Mays stays out there, Storm's going to be right on the back of him, I think.
I mean, I also think it's the difference in pace, the difference in pace between Storm and Maith. I mean, Maith is doing a great race once again. He has taken advantage of all the incidents, and look at him. He's now sitting down currently in 4th. But I think Storm has much more pace, and we can see that Storm is catching Maith, but he's not catching Axnes. So definitely not the tires.
Definitely not the tyres. In terms of fastest laps, actually, 48.1 from Axnes, 48.4 from Storm out on track, and he set up the last lap around as well. So he's really beginning to come into this. He's catching Mace, but not catching Axnes. But in a couple of laps' time, these guys will, of course, come into the pit lane, and I think Storm may be out in the net lead of the race. When that comes, yellow flag in sector 3, Maximus is round, and that's through Blanchimont. He has retired that car. So he's crashed through Blanchimont. Well, I'm on board with Daniil, the leader. Billy has rejoined, hasn't taken control of his car just yet. He's got Atlas Copel right on the back of him as well, and he's going to go sailing on by, I think, for this one. Interesting to note as well, Passels is keeping quite consistent to Schumi. It's 1.2 seconds. At his home track, of course, Passels coming into tonight. He's really beginning to excel, and he's on for a good point haul.
I mean, I think actually Schumi and Passels could actually end up in front of Maith because of the tires. So we'll have to watch out, both of them. But I can actually see them finishing ahead of Maith. I think they have a good pace, they are being consistent. And why not dreaming about ending in the top 5 or even top 6?
Jeffrey, by the way, has retired out of the race. That was through Lecom. I think he crashed out of that race. So we're down now to only 13 drivers as Maximus leaves the session. We thank him, though, for attending. We're not even at halfway yet, and there's not really much going on. Daniil leading the way from Mashiro in second. I would have expected, you know, Mashiro to be gaining on Daniil. He doesn't look like he's got the pace.
Today, I think he's totally... he's not here. He hasn't shown up. I don't know where is Mashiro. Where is our Mashiro, you know? And Passels get a 3-second time penalty going through Radian. So, yeah. But I have to say I'm surprised by the pace that Mashiro is showing today.
Just a note, actually, wonder why Passels is keeping so consistent to Schumi. You've seen his ERS, he's on 13% of ERS. Schumi is on 71% ERS. And Passels surely is going to be feeling the effects of that ERS. Down, there's a yellow flag through Sector 2, and it's Axnes through Pouon. It's Axnes in third. Out! Pretty much through Pouon. It looks like he got caught on the inside curb to go around the outside. He catches the bump, rejoining the track. Good to see. But now, May's 1.1 seconds off, less than that in fact, and Storm all of a sudden. You didn't rule him out of a top 5. He's now could be on for a top 3.
I think you pointed out the wrong guy. You were talking about Pariah, but you should have pointed out Storm at the start. I think that he's doing a great race. And
he is in.
Daniel into the pits. Yeah, probably now the...
Machine's in as well.
Yeah, the soft
mediums
definitely now.
Yeah,
ooh, mediums till the end.
Mediums for 14 laps, though. We're going to be quite warm towards the end of the race. Daniil is on a set of mediums, and he comes out of the pits. Mashiro second, Axnes is in, Mays is in, and that now will promote Storm probably to a second position, because Daniil's going to be getting out ahead of him, and I'm not sure if Mashiro might either. I think Storm is just going to be out ahead of Mashiro. We'll see how they rejoin, and yes, Storm has got ahead of Mashiro. So now, what has Storm got to do out on track for him to gain? He's got to push, and he's gonna lose the time to Daniil. He's gonna lose the time to Mashiro. He has got to stay consistently ahead of Schumi for a top 3.
I mean, to be honest, I think Storm has to be clever. Know that the race is not against Mashiro. I know with his style, I think he's gonna let Mashiro by. I don't think he's gonna put too much resistance to Mashiro overtaking him. And honestly, if I was Storm, I would try to stay behind Mashiro as much as I can and get the slipstream and DRS.
Oh, Hades gets the move done around Lecom, down on the inside line. Axnes tried to hold it around the outside on those fresher mediums, but the warmness is in those hards, and Hades is through, and he's up into P6. Nice bit of driving that, and well done to Axnes for not trying to lunge it around the outside of him. He's got much fresher tyres, but this really begs into question now, Axnes is now going to be held up by Hades ahead. There's no question about it.
Yeah, definitely, and I have to say right now that this is
actually,
fight for
oh,
track
just a
position.
cut in. He's coming around the outside into the next section just after Puon gets the move done. So Axnes is through, and literally a polar opposite of what I said 10 seconds ago has just happened. So Axnes through, and he's up into P6, gets the move back done on Hades. Good move. Sorry, what were you saying there?
Yeah, that this is actually a fight for track position. I mean, I don't think Hades and the other hard runners have to pit again. So if I was Hades, I wouldn't give up. I mean, he has still plenty of race. I think those hards will get to the end, and maybe those mediums might get weak at the end. So he has to still push, try to keep under the DRS range, and yeah, just keep focused.
Storm's assisting Duck coming down the Camel Straight, and Mashiro just sails on by the Japanese man through, and he's up into second position. But now the gap is about 6 seconds, if I recall. No, it's 4.7 in fact. So Mashiro 4.7 off Daniil, exactly the same time when they came out of the pits. So now Mashiro's game plan is simple: catch Daniil, overtake him and win the race. That is his game plan now. Are we going to see him catch Daniil, given Daniil's first lap pace? By the way, Billy is going side by side with Atlas Coppola nearly down towards the Rouge and Radion here. This is for 12th and 13th out on track. Old hards against old mediums here, and it's Billy on the back of Atlas Copo. Would like to say this is for the wooden spoon, but it's not. This is the 12th position. Billy on the inside line, getting the move done by the looks. The Haasman is through, and he's up into P12. Unlucky with the disconnect, but he's now recovering well and has gone through on Atlas Copo. And they're looking quite consistent, if I've got to be honest, out on track. Mays on the back of Hades, and Mashiro, by the way, 4.3 seconds off Daniil. So just coming back to that point I was mentioning, Mashiro's game plan is simple. 4.3 seconds in 12 laps, is it doable?
For sure. I mean, it is, but the question is... Oh, I was about to say, the question is, Mashiro has the pace for it? Well, it might seem that he can have the pace.
Just going to cut in here. Mays trying to go round the outside as TTG Storm leaves the session. That's from third position, so Storm is out of the race now due to a disconnect. Hopefully we can get him back in. Hopefully he's got a spare invite that he can... get in with. Mays is on the back of Hades. Sorry to cut in there. I thought Mays was going to go around the outside line there.
Yeah, and that would be too unfortunate for
Storm.
Passos!
And a Rouge! And Radion, actually. Haha! There he is, right hand side through Radion. It's very similar to how Key went out on the first lap.
Yeah. Pretty similar, yeah, in the same spot. Yeah, sorry, I mean, I couldn't resist. I thought that
Mays.
was a dead meme, and suddenly, yeah.
Mays down the inside line on Hades. Hades has got right side end plate damage, by the way. He's still carrying that on. So Mays is through, and he's up into P6. Passos has left the session, probably in more disgust than anything. I'm sorry that I've now made him into a meme here in TTL F1 League 2, but unfortunate for him. TTG Storm, by the way, 1.8 seconds off Mashiro. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1, and Billy is now round through a Rouge and Radion. So really, this has been a test now, out on track, of who wants it the most. And Storm is getting overtaken now by Shumi. Hopefully he can rejoin. He can rejoin.
I mean, he was making such a good comeback. I think today it was a perfect day to try and be on the podium. If he doesn't get back, that would be horrible. I mean, totally undeserved.
It will be totally undeserved, I think. Currently in fourth, Axnes is roughly about 9 seconds off him, I would say. The timing's not updating as a result because of him being an AI car. Conti, in the meantime, on the back of Hades. This is for 7th and 8th. And Conti, arguably, in position to score his first points of the season. All being well, I hope I've just not... I'm going to touch wood now that I haven't ruined him and given him a commentator's curse. But Conti really attributing to this race well. He's on 9-lap old mediums. He will have to pit again. But even if he pits again, he'll be out in 10th, surely.
What have you done? I mean, the first rule you learn when you get the title of commentator, is never say something good about a driver that is doing well. Because
oh my god!
Exactly. You see, you're already evoking, you know, the devil. But yeah, let's hope that he can actually score some points. I think today the result could have been much better if he wasn't involved in that first incident.
Yeah.
I mean, today's race, it was totally like the Russian roulette, you know. It was let's see who survives, and I think today's podium will be a bit random compared to others to other Grand Prix.
Yeah, I've got to say, honestly, this race is so far, I think, I can attribute it to a war of attrition, I think, out on track. And Hannah's just going right there through Pouon. Now lets Conti back in. Storm is back into the session. So Storm is back into the session. Probably had to go under a restart of his PS4, I would think, to get back into the session. But he's back. And he's now could be on for top 5 as long as he retakes control of that car. Oh, and he's left again.
Yep.
He's left again.
Never mind.
That's another commentator's curse that I've made here tonight. You know, I should just give up at this point. Conti is on the back though of Hades. He's not going to go around the outside of Blanchimon, is he? No, he's not. Oh, very close there. Hades defending the position well.
He was about to do a Max Verstappen on Nasser. I think it was back in 2015. I remember that because it was one of the first moves I remember from Max Verstappen and saying, wow, that's a crazy driver, you know, going round the outside. But yeah, as we can see, the AI from Storm being overtaken by Main. And I wouldn't be surprised that if Main keeps that gap under the 3 seconds, he might get a podium, because I don't know how the penalties are actually. That has reminded me.
It's Billy. It's Billy. I thought it was Daniil. Oh my god, I thought it was Daniil. It's Billy. Goodness me. He's round through Pouon and Daniil is just behind him out on track. Goodness me. Got excited for absolutely nothing. Anyways.
What I was saying is that this has reminded me to actually look at penalties for actually Honey Badger. And I have to say, Axnes, as I said, has a penalty. I don't know if it's a 5-second time penalty or 3-second time penalty, because he got it at the start of the race without any warning. But he has 2 warnings, so I wouldn't be surprised if he gets now a penalty.
Conti, in the meantime, on the back of Hades, 0.4 of a second. I think they'll have a penalties run down probably in the last 3 laps or so that we normally do here in TTL F1. Me too, and Conti is out of the race. Drama through Stavolo. Conti just got caught on the outside curb and he's out of the race. And that is another commentator's curse from me.
I told you. I mean, this is what happens when... Do you remember what they said in Spider-Man? A great power, you know, you need a great responsibility. There we go. That's why. And you're not being responsible.
Hannah's into the pits to replace his front wing, by the way. I don't feel like I've got great responsibility now out on track, if I've got to be honest. I may as well quit my career, my commentary career early. Hades then into the pits. Pariah interestingly into the pits, so that now is a response, I think, to Conti crashing out. They know they're going to go for fastest lap of the race. So Hades is into the pits, set of softs. Pariah into the pits, set of softs. That probably, as I say, has been made as a result of Conti being crashed out and those going for the extra points. They may as well, to be honest. They may as well.
I mean, at the moment, mate, with the penalties and all that, he could actually get a podium. And I'm not even kidding. He could actually get a podium. And talking about possible ending positions, Mashiro, it's 3.1. I mean, in 4 laps, he has only caught up by 1 second or something like that.
By 1.5 seconds, I think he's caught.
Yeah. So I don't know if he keeps going like that, he might get Daniel at the end of the race, but it will be pretty close, I have to say.
It's going to be really close. I think Mashiro, again, is another one of those guys that has attributed himself. He swapped, essentially, straight line speed down the straight for the corners out on track, and 3.1 seconds, I think, is telling of that. If he had an overall balance setup for both straight line and cornering, I would imagine in my right mind that he would be close, if not on the back of Daniil at this point in the race, if he had that setup. Shumi, by the way, is into the pits from 3rd. So Shumi into the pits, 13 lap old mediums, makes sense.
Storm
should be in as well, I think. Yeah, Storm's coming in as well. On a set of 13 lap old mediums. And that's going to promote Charlie up to 5th position, I think. Or is he? Could be 6th actually coming out of the pits, because Shumi's just on the pit exit now.
5th. Oh.
6th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shumi out on a set of soft compound tyres as well, so he's now to 5th. And you're right, being Maze. You're right with Maze, you know. Could be on for top 3.
And we'll have to keep an eye. I mean, right now, I really hope that Maze can actually get a podium, because he had a really bad start. Then he actually got a 5th spot, I think it was, or a 6th, in, I can't remember what track. But then now, if he gets a podium, that could actually be a really good achievement for him in the season.
Yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's that man again. I think it's Billy, who has spun through Puon. Another unlucky race for him here tonight, Billy. Another one that hasn't scored as many points as what he would have hoped. But he's down there in 11th position. If somebody retires ahead of him, he's in the points. He may as well keep on going out there, out on track, and try and pick up something. And just speaking of which, Atlas Copo was just spun out on track, I do believe, through Lecom. Yeah, Atlas Copo's had a bit of a moment through Lecom. And I'm not sure if Daniil made a mistake that last lap around through Stabilo. It's 3.2 seconds. It was 3.6. So I'm not sure if Daniil made a mistake, because Machio's now up the ERS to try and gain.
I think he probably did, and I don't know if Mashiro, I mean, it doesn't, like, I think both are having sort of the same pace, so I don't think he's gonna be able to actually catch Daniel. I think if he does, it's gonna be on the last lap. I don't think it's gonna be any early than that. And then about Mate, he's losing, he's constantly losing time to Axnes. So I don't know if he'll be able to keep the gap, because I don't know, I think Axnes had a 3-second time penalty, but he was in his last warning. So if he gets a 6-second time penalty, that might give Mace an option.
Mace has got to be aware as well. Shumi might get on him as well. He's on a set of soft compound tyres in behind, but 6.2 seconds out on track, 6 seconds now the gap. Shumi has got to gain about a second per lap on Maze before those tyres begin to degrade, because they will degrade in around 3 or 4 laps time, and if he does that, which he nearly hit the wall through X corner, nearly, he's not going to be catching Maze before the end of this race, I don't think anyways. I've been wrong before though. I mean, I've ruined pretty much half the field's race currently with my commentators' curses tonight, so goodness knows. Machiro has lost time, 3.4 seconds.
Yeah, once again, that's what I mean. I think it's gonna keep like that, going up and down, but I don't think it's gonna get under the 3 seconds. For once, I thought that Mashiro could actually catch Daniel, but seeing the tendency on these previous laps, I don't think he's gonna catch.
Yeah, Machiro 3.6 seconds away, 19% of ERS, 14% for Daniil ahead in the lead of the race. So it is pretty much even between both of them out on track in terms of the ERS management. Recon, we will run through the penalties in a minute. Conti left apparently and kicked Storm. That is what happened with his disconnect. So Storm is back into the race. I'm glad to report he is back in. He's taken control of his car, and he's just came back for the fastest lap of the race as well. So Storm is now on the march to try and gain on Hades, but 5.3 seconds, the big ask. Again, another one that has had rotten luck, if I've got to be honest here tonight, as I think many drivers have, and I'm sure the stewards are going to be quite busy from what happened earlier on in the race.
I think that this race, I mean, every lap that passes, it's getting like more more chances of being the worst race of the season. I mean, let's be honest, today it hasn't been as entertaining as others, and probably it was because of the incidents that happened on the first lap. I think that ruined the whole race. I mean, we've still had some good moves from some drivers, but yeah, I think the race died in lap 1.
The race really died, I think, towards the halfway stage of the race, where we've got so many DNFs out on the track. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. You can pretty much guess who that is without me naming him. Mashiro's on the, well, he's getting closer to Daniil. 2.9 seconds out on track. By the way, just to confirm what is going to be happening with our schedule this weekend, and a very special guest appearance from me on another stream as well. Tomorrow is the finale of CRC, Competitive Racing Club, GT3 Tier 2, GT3 Tier 1, both championships, constructors and drivers, except from in Tier 1 of course with the constructors. Both drivers' standings are up for grabs. You heard me right.
So, for the title?
Yeah, fighting for the title. I think it's a 4-way battle in Tier 2 and a 3-way battle in Tier 1, if I'm not mistaken. So it's quite interesting. Tune in for that though. Tier 2 at 7:30 UK time and 8:30 UK time as well. That's if your eyes are not towards the 24 hours of F1 event that is happening tomorrow within the league racing community. And yours truly has been called up for a commentary stint. You'll have to wake up a little bit early though for my stint. It is 10 till 12 on Sunday morning. So 10 till 12 on Sunday morning. Kieran McGinley, I know, is doing it as well on, I think he's one of the, if not, he's opening the stream with Jess, if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow at 1 PM. So tune in for Kieran McGinley and tune in for me as well.
The 24 hours thing, right?
Yeah, that's for the 24 hours of F1. Of course, a fabulous event that has been put on. All money that will be donated from you guys as the viewers will be going to NHS charities here in the UK. And I think I couldn't think of a better charity we could be doing it for out on track. And given everything that is happening in the world right now, honestly, it is going to be a bit of an escape away from what is actually happening there, and I'm sure we will find the right tone for that stream. I'm sure I've been doing my research around NHS charities and who they support and everything, so I'll be mentioning that.
Mashiro.
2.4 seconds, I'm right on board with him. He is getting a lot closer here. I'm beginning to waffle on and it's beginning to inspire him, I think, out on track. Mashiro 2.5 seconds away. 41% of ERS management, and I've got to be honest, I think his tyres are looking a little bit better for wear compared to Daniil. Daniil might have gone a little bit too early with his effort. He's trying to use the ERS coming down the straight. Mashiro was just saving it a little bit up, and this is beginning to get him a little bit closer. Just to reiterate on what I was saying, by the way, 10 till 12 PM 10 AM till 12 PM, I should say, on Sunday morning, and that is about an hour before the stream. Oh, Biddy is retired out of the race through a Rouge and Radion. But an hour before the end of the stream, before the end of the 24 hours of F1 stream, I will be in the commentary box, and I do believe, I'm not mistaken, I don't think I'm allowed to say this, but as you guys are quite secretive here in TTTV and on TTG, of course, I think we are doing Sprint Tracks 100% races for the final 3 hours of the stream. Nothing's been announced yet, so whisper it quietly to everyone and get them to watch the stream tomorrow from 1 PM through till 1 PM day after. Fantastic.
And I've seen the penalties. I have to say.
Oh yeah, let's have a rundown.
Yeah, Daniil and Mashiro do not have penalties, although Mashiro is on his last warning, while Daniil only has 1 warning. Then we have Axnes with 1 penalty, and then he has 2 warnings, so he's on his last warning. Maith has only 2 warnings, so he has no penalties. Then we have Shumi with only 1 warning, Chaplin with 2 warnings. Hades, he has actually 2 penalties, and one warning, and actually Storm has only 2 warnings, but I'm guessing he's getting the glitch where when you rejoin, so he'll have to prove probably that he received warnings or whatever. Then we have Pyraya with 1 penalty and 1 warning. Then we have Atlas with 1 penalty, and that would be it. I think we're actually, I mean, look at that, 1.8.
1.8, 1.9.
I don't know, I mean, I'm checking my mind constantly.
I don't think he's close enough, 1.8 seconds. He has got to gain about a second on this lap alone to get anywhere near Daniil. This is a big ask for Mashiro, but if anybody can do it, Mashiro can. Remember, coming into tonight, he won the last 2 races, both in Germany and in Hungary. Can Mashiro do it again? 1.8 seconds, looking down the straight, down the Kemmel straight. Mashiro is beginning to gain up the time a little bit, now 1.7, that's because he's running the ERS down the straight. He will now have to protect that ERS through the course of this lap as we ride on board with the flying Japanese man out on track. 1.7 seconds the gap. As every corner goes by, Daniil will be hoping for the line to come as soon as possible. He'll be hoping the race to end on this lap. Again, I will reiterate my point that I was making. 1.6 seconds, I don't think that is enough for Mashiro to gain on Daniil. 1.5 seconds. It's got to be within a second on this lap, surely.
Are you sure? I mean, I wouldn't risk it. I mean, watch out, because look at that, because
it's a second. What? Mashiro is beginning to fly, and he's using up his ERS, and that is why he is absolutely flying out on track, and the Japanese man is coming from the clouds to try and win this. It's 9/10 of a second. Daniil should not be hesitant, I think, with his ERS management. He's on 41% ERS. Mashiro down into 6/10 of a second. A final lap showdown from the gods here, possibly in Belgium. Daniil leads onto the final lap with a reduced margin of 7.5 of a second coming across the line. Again, I don't think it's going to be enough, though. 0.8 of a second the gap, and Daniil actually had a pre-run. And what has happened to Daniil? Mashiro's through!
Intelligent.
Daniil!
Intelligent.
It's tactical! What on earth? But is Daniil going to use up the ERS? Has he got enough of a run on Mashiro? This could have let Mashiro through for the win. This is risky tactics here from Daniil. He's closing in, down towards Lecombe. He's not going to be close enough though. Mashiro's surely going to have this. Daniil, on the back of Mashiro, has let him through. One of the weirdest things I've ever seen on the final lap of the race here in any Grand Prix.
But we'll have to wait because Daniil has more ERS and for sure he will use it. And I have to say congratulations once again. You have cursed it. I mean, once again and again and again and again.
But as Mashiro,
I'm glad this time you did it.
Daniil's run wide. He's got a 3-second time penalty. He runs wide through Q1, and that is surely it. Daniil has now got to gain 3 seconds on Mashiro. He's got to get past him first and foremost to try and get past him. We've got Shumi and Maze. Shumi has gone through Maze, down through Lecombe. Just seen that on the mini-map there, but Daniil is on the back of Mashiro, and that, I think, is maybe one of the worst decisions I think I've seen a driver make in TTL history.
I mean, I think the idea was not bad. I mean, the idea could have been a 7 out of 10, but the execution was a bad.
Mashiro into the final corner with that 3-second time penalty. Daniil is going to be second. Mashiro is going to come across the line to win, and the Japanese man is counting his lucky chickens. He takes a 3rd win in a row, extends his championship lead. Daniil across the line in second. Again, as you say, the idea Daniil to gain the DRS, he thought he probably would have had a better run than that coming out of a Rouge and Radion to get him down towards Lecombe. He didn't, and he was on the back foot, I think, from there, and Pouon just really summed it up, I think, for him in actual facts. Again, unlucky with a 3-second time penalty, but one of the worst decisions you could make as a driver. Axnes across the line in 3rd position. Shumi across the line in 4th. He's going to get the podiums because he's got a lot of penalties here, I think. Axnes across the line in 3rd. Shimmy 4th. Yeah, May's 5th, so they stay as they are. Charlie, good result from him, being involved in an early collision with Conti, across the line in 6th. Hades across the line in 7th. Storm across the line in 8th. Jumps up to 7th. Of course, we'll get his POV just in case we've got any extra penalties that we can add on for him. Pariah across the line in 9th. Not his race at all. He's in a Toro Rosso, trust me, coming across the line. He finishes in 9th. Oh, and Atlas Copo has spun, coming just before Stavolo.
Some donuts, please. You know, for us, for the commentators, for the viewers.
But he's got to get round, you know. You've got to finish to be within the points, of course. And Atlas Copo has got to make sure of that. Just spinning. And I think, has he got a... I thought he had a puncture.
No. He's just baiting us.
So Atlas Copo, wanting airtime here, the Alfa Romeo man, Norwegian, has in fact nearly run out of fuel. He now comes round the final couple of corners. Through Blanchimont for the final time, now through Bust Off. And Atlas Copo will be coming around the final couple of corners. If you can start it through the final couple of corners, I might give him an extra point for style. But Atlas Copo has sadly not managed that. He's across the line, and that is a plain fat old 0 from me in terms of style points.
And I want to announce that never ever sign us as your, how to call it, the guys that actually put money on bets. Yeah, as, because
prediction gurus.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Because we didn't get anything right. I mean, we put Daniel on the podium, but we put him first. He finished second.
I put Key on the podium.
Exactly.
That's how bad my prediction went. Anyways, Mashimo to the top of the standings here. The Japanese band taking a 3rd win in a row. Daniil 2nd. And, of course, that man Axner is in 3rd position. What a finale in the end. Pretty boring old race, if I've got to be honest, in the second half of the race. Oh, and I get XP. Fantastic.
Me too.
2,500 XP given from Codemasters. They appreciate our commentary tonight.
Codemasters appreciate our work, you know, they know
exactly.
We do great, you know.
So, Mashiro takes it out on track. 3 seconds the win from Daniil in 2nd, Axnes in 3rd, Shumi in 4th, Mays in 5th. Good result from him, given how unlucky he's been. Charlie in 6th, Storm in 7th, Hades in 8th, Pariah in 9th, Atlas Copo did come across the line, did pick up the fastest lap as well. So he gets an extra point for the fastest lap of the race, finishing down there in P10. Everyone else, well, you can count them out. DNFs, all from 11th down to 18th. Billy, Jeffrey, Key included in that, just off the top of my head. And, well, that is it for tonight. TTL F1 League 2, Belgium, never failed to disappoint. Didn't quite think we'd see a race like that.
Definitely. I mean, I have to say, at least the last lap was actually exciting. I mean, we had some good fun there, you know. Although we didn't understand at all the move done by actually. Ooh, wait, I'm blank. I mean, I cannot think. My brain is empty right now. No, Daniel. That's it. Yeah, Daniel. Actually, we didn't understand the move done by Daniel, but still, I think Mashiro was. I mean, he deserved the win. What he did on the final laps, you know, despite seeing a relatively big gap, you know, he stayed there. He kept pushing, and in the end, he got the win. I think that's what you get when you make a lot of effort, you know, and yeah, deserved the win.
Yeah, Mashiro certainly delivered out on track, and he did take the win eventually. Daniil in 2nd. He was there for the most part. He did everything right, apart from letting Mashiro through, and apart from getting that 3-second time penalty. You cannot fault his race at all, and that as well. Axner is finishing in 3rd. Congratulations to all podium finishers. Remember, complaints deadline 9:50 p.m. UK time. Video submission deadline 10:20 p.m. UK time, and driver of the day deadline 9:40 p.m. deadline. So only in about 15 minutes for your driver of the day. Paco, who was your driver of the day?
Basically all of them, because they didn't crash. Some of them were not involved in the incidents. I think they kept it relatively clean. So my drive of the day are for those who actually finished, you know, heroes.
The heroes, the top 10, all getting driver of the day from Mr. Paco Suarez, my co-commentator. Which I think is pretty much summing of how that race went. My driver of the day, I'm going to have to give it to Maze. I think he drove such an astute race, was right in there in the vanguard, nearly on for top 3 in places. So Maze gets my driver of the day. Drove very well. Hopefully, all being well, and touch wood that I don't ruin him from this point onwards, this will be the start of his season well and truly. Touch wood. Don't want to ruin another commentator's curse on the stream for next week. Especially in Italy. We go to Italy next week, of course, for TTL F1 League 2. Paco has had enough of me, I think, now, by saying commentator's curses and everything like that over the stream. But from myself, James Head, and from Paco Suarez, we will bid you farewell. The final thing I want to say, though, is, of course, stay at home, protect the NHS, protect your health service as well, and save lives. Because if you are outside unwillingly for anything bar shopping, bar exercise, and bar going to work, then you are not saving lives. It is simple as that. And I think that's where we'll end it here. Of course, tune in for CRC tomorrow. Tier 2 action from 7:30. Tier 1 action from 8:30 as well. And for the record, if Alan does watch this back, I will be available for Tier 2 commentary as well if his connection gives way again. So I can jump in. You might see me twice tomorrow night on the channel. Tomorrow night on TTTV. But for myself, James Head, from Paco Suarez, we bid you farewell. Thank you very much for watching. And until next time, goodbye.
Hasta luego.